All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Guerreros Podcast. My name is Jonathan, and I am here to bring you a very special guest to me. A very young entrepreneur, a freaking killer. This guy has the eye of the lion, man.
Let's go.
He has money on what he's freaking. Man, dude, I freaking got to know about your socks so much. We standing on business out here. But this guy, man, I gotta love him. I appreciate him. I am very proud to have met such a great individual, a very young individual, which nowadays is something that impacted me because I see what I could have had done myself at his age. Okay, I've always been a great worker, had great work ethic, hustled hard and hustled smart for other businesses, but not my own. So when I met Gabe at PHP, it was amazing to see such a young person with such great energy, positive vibes, and just hungry and eager to learn on how to do things. Okay. So one of the first memories, right, for me, and I'll let you introduce yourself right now. One of the very first memories of Gabe for me was when he came up to me and asked me, he's like, "Hey bro, how do you do that? How do you just like speak so like fluent, like you just have a flow, right?" And to me that was like, damn, dude, this guy's not scared to actually ask for help. That's when I gained respect for you, and a lot, because a lot of people are scared to ask for help. One of the things I've been living by is a closed mouth don't get fed. Okay? So you ask for help, you ask for advice, and quite honestly, man, I'm Mexican. I love gossip, so it's easy for me to talk to people. Bro. It's just cheese, man, you know. But Gabe, can you please introduce yourself for our people? Who is Gabe? What do you do?
Of course. Yeah, my name is Gabriel Donelly. I'm actually a life insurance broker, and I help people protect their legacies, protect families, build wealth for individuals. But not only that, I'm out here just trying to make an impact, show an example for people, right? The two things we give people in life is an opportunity and an example. So, being able to go forward and lead from the front is being able to show the youth that, look, this is actually possible when you put your mind and stay resilient and stay disciplined to your craft. But man, just the background of who I am is, I don't grow up from, well, I do actually grow up, and I'm not trying to make people feel bad at where I come from. Everybody has a story to tell. But man, I come from a very, broken family, right? We come from, everybody comes from different spots and different places. But I actually unfortunately didn't grow up with my biological parents. I grew up with my grandparents. And I say that by the grace of God too. And it's because my grandparents showed me goals, morals, principles. They showed me the right path I needed to be on. But I've also been on, both sides of the table. My mom and my dad got into a lot of gangs, drugs, violence. But it was more of a look of life and being like, what side do I actually want to pick, right? And I saw the wealth that my grandparents were picking over the fact of not being in chisme, not being in, things that are not going to elevate them as individuals, and kind of just holding on to, drugs, just stuff like that that's going to hold you back in life, right? If we're on to doing something big, we got to know that we got to drop bad vices to actually get there, right? Build good habits. So my mindset was always been on, just being able to adapt to the right things, and I feel like the opportunity kind of led to me, and that's why God's plan put me in the position I'm at today. And
yeah, beautiful.
Let's go.
Yeah, right. You're already freaking over here dropping some good nuggets to the people out there, man. So see, that's the thing. The way he is talking right now to when I met him, like he's always been a fast talker. He speaks pretty fast. But the way he structures himself now, the way he speaks and goes about speaking, is at a higher level than when I first met you, brother. Honestly, like the way you're speaking right now, I'm just like, holy, like it's not the same Gabe I met. I'll tell you that much, okay?
Right.
And it's been a while since we met.
Right.
So I am blessed to see you today, man.
It's been like what, 6 months?
Yeah, dude.
8 months?
It's almost a year. Yeah, almost a year.
I think it's almost a year.
I am a broker through PHP as well. Right?
Of course, yeah.
When I met him, I had two options. It was go hard at PHP or go hard in my business. All roads overhead. Okay?
Right.
I'll put that link below so you guys for your garage door needs. But for me, it was go hard PHP because I see the hard work that it takes. Right. I see the dedication that is needed.
Right.
And how much you actually have to believe, not necessarily believe, but how much you actually have to go in to it. Right.
Right.
Is it a risk? Everything is a risk. Life's a risk, carnal. Everything's a risk. But the thing here is that you pick the risk that you wanted to take for the outcome that you want to have.
Of course. Right?
Yeah. I had to do the same thing. I had to decide whether I wanted to go hard on PHP, knowing the work that it would take, which, I mean, I'm already a people's person, man, so it wasn't going to be hard work. I just didn't want to start from zero again, right? But the route that and I don't even call him a kid, bro, because God, geez. But the route that Gabe is going, right, to me it's astonishing because the work ethic that you have, the energy that you have,
Right.
is transferred over to people.
To people.
Man. It's transferring over to people, and that is something I recently learned. Right? Well, yeah, I want to say recently 'cause it was this year, but the transfer of energy that you have towards people, I believe it's a very powerful gift that you have, man.
Yeah, thank you.
When I met you, that's why I'm like, damn, boy, this freaking kid, like, he has that energy that I freaking had, except he's working smart.
Right.
You're doing the things the smart way.
And let me tell you, let me be fully direct with you as well. One thing that I feel like built me, and the reason why I'm at where I'm at today is because I started from the ground up. You know, I feel like starting from square zero, especially at a young age, definitely tells you about having thick skin, learning this business. You gotta fail to learn. You know, at the end of the day, like, you gotta build yourself up. And I feel like the experiences, and when you get something and you wanted to achieve, that feeling feels greater when you get it. You know, because you went through the bottom up. You know, when you went through all the hard times, all the times where you were actually fighting through, like, should I hold on and keep doing this or not, right? And I feel like that was one thing that really stood out to me when I was kind of going through my path. And it was all about just being able to be really good at self-reflecting. Self-reflecting, being aware of where we're at today, and being like, look, man, we've already built this, but how can we keep scaling? How can we keep out-strategizing? How can we keep out-proving? You know, keep outworking people, right? And the most important one is outlasting.
There you go.
The most important one. And the reason why is because, man, if you can't outlast people, bro, and you can't outlast yourself, you're going to get burned out. And when you get burned out, bro, you really go down a bad path. And I can tell by just experiences about, you know, being with individuals that have quit, right? You know, and I see that happening, and I've got told by my mentors, like, look, man, you're young. A lot of people quit at your age. That sits in my head, and it makes me feel like, you know what? I'm gonna make a point to prove that I am not a quitter. I'm not a quitter, bro.
So here's the thing: is that being an entrepreneur, right? Going through PhD. Have you had any other business yourself?
No. I had no other business. Had no experience in business. Never talked to people like that on a business level. I was very much just kind of in the route of going to college and thinking that was gonna really suit me. I didn't really have a plan. I was just doing what everybody else is doing, getting a job, going to school part-time for it, and just kind of seeing where things kind of played out, right? And I kind of quickly realized, right, that school wasn't getting me where I wanted to go. It's not paying my bills. And I'm getting older to the point where I've seen 21-year-olds, 25-year-olds, 30-year-olds making $500,000 a year, and I was like, how am I gonna do that when I'm 25 with just a piece of paper? So I was kind of just like, to me, like, college is the right thing when it comes to, you know, lawyers, doctors, they're right. I feel like degree would really suit you and it helps. But I feel like the reason why you do good in life at a young age is because you take risks. You just kind of go against all odds. You kind of do things that people don't think that is possible, but you make possible.
Well, what is the biggest risk you've taken so far?
Not listening to people, telling me things that I didn't think I was able to do. You know, being able to not let the doubters get to my head, being able to kind of just have more self-talk. I've never had self-talk as much as I've had being an entrepreneur than anything. You know, I've never been able to value myself, take some, like, you know, just reflecting, man. I've never been able to do it. I just kind of just went through life just listening to people, and now, bro, when I was doing that, I was stuck in and out. I was stuck getting paid and maxed out on an income. I was not controlling my time at all. And I just didn't like the people in the management. I knew damn well that was not a place where my identity was gonna grow. My association wasn't gonna get changed. And I just saw a really just like stuck factor, and I got sick and tired of it real quick.
So are you going back to a 9 to 5 anytime soon?
Heck no. Heck no. Never, ever again.
So what do you think is the difference between going to college and school and having actual mentors in the niche that you're trying to?
So when I think of school, I think of learning and not doing. When I think of entrepreneurship, you learn and do. So imagine getting paid for learning. That's basically what entrepreneurship is. You're not really getting paid to go to college. You're actually putting yourself in financial burdens. Yeah. So I quickly realized that too. Like, man, is it get mentorship and be in a company that has good morals, values, and principles, or go be in debt, don't make money, and just learn? So to me, it was a very easy option to make. And I'm not doubting that people can go the college route. You know, I know a lot of people that are successful that went to college, and congrats to them, right? But I just personally don't think a piece of paper should have, I don't think a piece of paper should define how much work ethic and how much of a man you are.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, so when like right now that you're with mentors that you have Del Toro, right? As one of your mentors in there.
Yeah.
Right. Great woman, strong woman. What is it? What has been the biggest takeaway from having a mentor at such close proximity? Because there's people, man, paying thousands and thousands of dollars, and here you're making thousands and thousands of dollars, like you said, to learn and be mentored.
Yeah.
So what has been the biggest takeaway that you've gotten from Erika?
Just the paradigm shift, just the way you think. I think it was a complete 180 thinking that I was living, like the way I was living. I didn't know that you can live in a certain like high capacity, I guess you can say. And I got that door open by being around mentors. I feel like if you're not around people that are having more income, having the dream life, then what are you doing? How are you gonna get there? How are you gonna get guidance? How? And I feel like people say like, oh, well, guidance doesn't really like suit me. Like I'd rather get it on my own. Well, man, if you want to get it on your own, why don't you use the leverage of people so then you can build your own thing, right? So one thing I really just wanted to get a big takeaway from all of them was just being resilient and just being so focused on having good people around me. Because I noticed my energy, my language, my lens of view of life was completely different, and it made me just think bigger. It made me be a visionary. It made me think of why I do what I do.
And your mind expanded.
Yeah, and my why makes me tear now, bro. You know, it makes me tear, and it's all because I had to figure out deeply what that was. And guess what? Mentors broke it down for me.
Oh, that's beautiful. What do you think your purpose is? But what purpose do you have right now? Because I'm a big believer, man, that one thing you said earlier is we burn out, right? One way to not burn out is to actually have a purpose, to have a why. Yeah. Because when you're motivated, you burn out way quicker because motivation doesn't really last. It's having the purpose and goals, an actual why of why you should keep going. Because when you're actually feeling burned out, that's when you're like, no, I can't burn out. I want to mean, like you get energy back. So what's your purpose, brother?
Man, there's a bunch. When it comes to personal family life, I would say that being able to be in the position I'm at, having the all my sisters and my mom go through a bunch of hard stuff, and they still are today, and I'm the only one in my bloodline that's actually setting that example or doing something about it. That's a big why. I want to be the staple of my family. I want to build that legacy and I think of my last name as over $1 billion. Like that's how deep I want my roots to be in my family and how much I want to build a legacy for them. But my other why is just being the impact, be the youth impact, be the example for individuals to set and just learn from. I want to be a leader. I want to be able to be somebody that people are proud to lead. And guess what? I can't lead people if you can't lead yourself. So one thing you got to do is always set the example, no matter what, where you go. Wow. And I'm a firm believer that the way you are, the way you act is the way you're going to be, right? So at 21 years old, I'm going to think of myself as a 31-year-old with success, fame already. And that's how I'm going to approach everything. And I'm going to make my mindset be that way so then I can stay in that concept pattern of growth mindset, staying around good things, right? So that's just been the main purpose, being the impact and just serving my family by being a legacy.
Damn, dude, you really just said, well, you know what I'm doing? I'm thinking I'm a 21-year-old doing everything possible, like as fast as possible, just to have that energy.
There you go, bro. Hey, you gotta be on top,
right? But I'm doing it for the energy, just to keep myself going, because I already have that purpose. I already have my why. I already have my principles of why I need to do what I need to do, right? But just to see, just so you can see the both of those pages right there. This guy's thinking in a 35-year-old mindset type deal where he's already pushing himself hard and fast, as well as smart towards an end goal, not just freaking doing to do stuff, right? So one thing is I don't see you chasing shiny objects per se, right? You're not over here is like, oh, this is making money. Oh, but this is making money too. Oh, and this is. So I don't see you jumping from plane to plane. No. You know what I mean? So seeing that you're focusing a lot of your energy in one single area, that tells me that one, you're going to be the expert that everybody's going to go look to, and two, you're going to be successful.
Of course.
Okay, one of my biggest mistakes was, I see people making money here, I see people making money there, I see like chasing every single shiny object that I could to get rich quick. And there's no fucking such thing as get. I mean, there's the rare cases, right, that hit. The rare cases, but correct. From my experience, most cases, or the people that I met that have money, they've been in that at least have the millions, multi-millions. that have been in business for over 5 years, that started doing business smart, and or over 10 years that took them a while to figure out that things had to be done with a plan. And
Yeah, and I feel like just longevity wise, when you're really thinking about being wealthy, rich, dude, you can't build it off of just one big income deposit into your bank account. Like, that's not how it works.
how do you even keep it, man?
Yeah, you got to learn how to keep it. You got to learn how to be around people that can grow it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything. It just, man, everything's about your associations. I think that's the one big key in everything. Like, if I didn't have associations with God, people that like live through God,
That's a big one.
man, I'm not gonna have a foundation of faith, right? I need these
love
people around me. I need the church around me. I need leaders around me. So guess what? I can be the leader for them, and then for myself, and then for my peoples, right? So then what I gotta do, like I said, example. Same thing, bro. Goes back to the same thing I always talk about. It's example, bro. Like, if you're not setting the example, bro, nobody's gonna want to be a lead by you, and you're just gonna give off bad like energy, bro. Like, straight up. And I want to give off the best energy so people know that they're in a safe place, bro. Like, straight up. Like,
Hey, people want to. One thing that hit once was they told me, it's like, damn, bro, you're over here trying to sell a dream looking like a nightmare, and I'm like, damn, that was one of those key moments that actually made me
like
change.
punctured, yeah.
And I was like, damn, they're right, bro. I'm not even taking care of me. I'm over here looking like shit, dressing like shit, feeling like shit, but I want you to have the best dream of your life.
Right.
Being happy, like, it just doesn't work.
You kind of put yourself through a cycle of just constant like depression, I feel like, because you're not making yourself happy, but you're trying to make other people happy, and it's that's not how it works.
No, man, you gotta fix yourself first.
You gotta
So,
always first, bro. Always first, bro.
What car are you driving right now?
Man, I actually just recently bought, maybe like 2 weeks ago, a brand new M4. Yeah, brand new M4.
That thing is clean. What color is it? Is it orange or like copper
It's
orange?
it's like a Shakir orange. It's like a rare. It's a rare. Yeah, it's a rare individual color, man. I love BMWs. It's been my passion since I was a little kid. My grandpa is actually, he still pit crews on the team for racing. So it's just kind of been in my blood, just kind of always being around cars, and that was actually one of my first passions. And I don't know, man. Just feels good. Feels good.
Man. So, I mean, I'm over here freaking driving. I mean, now I drive okay cars, you know. But at your age, at your age, bro, I was driving a bucket, and then another bucket, and then another bucket. And then until I changed my mind shift to what it was actually worthy of driving, then I got a better, I mean, right now it's just dirty, but now I drive a better truck.
Yeah.
Now I have a better family car.
There you
Right?
go.
And it's not to say that these objects mean anything, but the accomplishment that came from being, the feeling of accomplishment that came with getting the car that you wanted. You know what I mean? Some people's like, oh, it's all material. Well, yeah, it's material shit, but we live in a material world that requires our hard work that we trade for the time.
To get those things.
Yeah, to be able to get those accommodations.
I feel like it's like a measuring stick, right, to your growth. And I mean, there's also people that are out there that have a terrible mindset and have everything, right? But it's also, like I said, it's just your associations. If you're around the right people making the right money, man, you're going to be around the right people, and you're going to be around rooms that are going to be billionaires. They're all going to be people that are actually like-minded like you as well. You're not going to be around people that just want to make the money and then go party and drink all night, right? So there's different types of levels to wealth. There's different environments, and I feel like, bro, you can be making $1 million a year and still be in the bad environment, right? And it doesn't suit you. It doesn't help your family. You're not leading the family, and you're not setting the example, bro. You're not setting the example. Everything is example, bro.
Maybe I need to be a better example too, man. I don't think there's any way to be like perfect. There's always room for improvement.
No, and you gotta not let perfection take you down, because if you're trying to be perfect in everything, you're gonna fail, and you're gonna cause more stress on yourself than you need to. You gotta realize that this game is not a perfection game. This game is learn the ropes, get good at what you know how to do, and then leverage everything else, and then build a big business on top of it. Very simple, and it's all just like, bro, everything is just about the right rooms too. You know, like if I'm around people that are making only $500,000 and up, what do you think the conversations are like, right? These are things that we need to think about when it comes to leveraging our time, right? So how are we wasting our time? The biggest time wasters, bro, are just people that sit down at home on their 9 to 5s, after their 9 to 5s, not doing anything, not building something that they can use that time to get back, right? Or playing 4,000 hours on a video game. That 4,000 hours can be on a business, right? Setting up a plan, building a strategy, structures, systems, and man, people just need to be able to have a better perception of what they need to get their priorities correct. You know, like they need to have a better way of structuring things. I guess you can say when it comes to your day to day, from when you wake up to when you sleep.
Oh yeah, dude. Actually, I just posted up a video. The one that got posted of myself. I literally did a breakdown of every single person that interviewed up to this point, right?
Okay.
It's about 15 people. And one of the things that I actually mentioned is something similar to that most of the time we have like for myself, I have the responsibility of not just taking better care of my family, like my wife and my son, but being able to retire my parents, being able to help my sisters, being able to be, like you say, I'm that one person doing the only thing that needs to be done to be able to give a better life,
right?
Not just for myself, but for my family and my parents, right, my sisters. And one thing, like you said, that had to change was one, I couldn't do it in a 9 to 5. To me, I really don't care that people have a 9 to 5 because we all need work. The entrepreneurship game is not for everybody, right? It's a tough road.
Yeah.
But the one thing, like you said, is going back home and sitting down and doing nothing. Like literally, I just go 9 to 5, eat, sleep.
Nothing. That was you get stuck in that though. You get so what it is, bro, is you get what's the right word for it? I think you get so like comfortable on where you're at that you don't see a change. Right? You don't see a change. You don't see a different side to reality. And that's where you get stuck in not having a paradigm shift. You know, you get stuck in the day-to-day things you do. We stress about things, and we do that to ourselves, honestly, because we're not around in the right environments to keep our energy up. Yeah. Right? I swear on everything that you do is all based on where you're at and the energy and just the people around you. Everything. Because look, I can be around the best people, but if I'm in a bad energy, dude, it don't matter. Nothing matters. Right?
You gotta match that frequency.
You gotta match the frequency.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you gotta do. And 9 to 5 too, bro. I had a conversation with one of my mentors, Alejandro Aguilar. He told me, he's like, man, so when it comes to you actually building something for your family, let me tell you, when it comes to a 9 to 5, you think that's gonna build your past generation, your grandparents, your parents, and you think that's gonna also pay for yourself, and do you also think it's gonna be paying for your future? Do you think that 9 to 5 is gonna be able to do that? And I had a deep conversation with myself too. I was like, bro, okay, let me break down the numbers. If I'm only making $300,000 in the next 10 years, how am I gonna support everybody? Makes no sense. So I was like, bro,
you can make it in 1 year, man.
Exactly, I can make it in a year. So that's the thing. Like I had a very quick realization. Like, dude, I need to get on top of it. That's why the urgency comes quick. That's why I kind of learned so fast, because I failed so quick. And
I like that.
Just putting your head out, bro. Just putting your head there and just kind of just being there and just getting yourself there. That's 90% of the game. 10% is just doing the work, straight up.
And that 10% is the hardest thing.
It is.
Because people
they don't even get to the 10%.
Yeah, and I keep repeating this, because like I said, I had some great mentors. Some mentors were through reading or watching their videos.
Yeah.
But I still like to call them mentors because I take away from what they actually talked about, right? But one thing, like you said right now, that 10% is people basically not doing what they learn or taking action in what they learn, right? So they turn all this self-help into shelf-help. And it's really like one of those things that's like, dude.
It kind of just shoots you in the foot, right?
Yeah, it really does, man. And then the other thing is on some of our first episodes, I was talking to very, very great, smart individuals, man. But one of the things that we were talking about was we cannot, it's like us sitting here talking for an hour, 2 hours, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
We're already here. We already drove an hour out to come and do this, right?
Yeah.
Are you getting paid?
No.
I'm not fucking paid.
I'm not getting paid.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pay him either.
Well, I mean, I am getting paid, but
But my point is, he's not getting paid to be here.
Right.
He's doing this to come and share some of his intel on what he has, right, on what he's doing, as well as put perspective on individuals that are trying to figure it out as well. But my thing here is not getting paid and putting in the time, right? We already did our job. We already did what we're supposed to,
right?
In a sense, to share what we know with other individuals. Now, if you as an individual grab this and all you do is like, oh yeah, let's say this good stuff, oh yeah, and then grab that book, post it up, and put it away. How good does that do?
Man, it does nothing for you.
That's what I'm saying. That 10% of taking action is the hardest thing, because it's easy to watch this freaking hour of.
So you know those conferences we go to for PHP, they're so valuable. The mentorship, the TTT trainers, where we get like 6 months of training in 3 days, and just all the mentors are there, right? We're getting mentorship from people that are making over 6 figures, right? It's a crazy environment. But one conversation I had with Rodolfo Vargas, he's actually the top person in our company, right? He kind of had a conversation with me. He's like, man, I was like, what is one thing you did when you were in your 20s or 30s or whenever age you were that really made you switch and have that fire to go all in? And he said, man, I want you to look around. And he said, out of the 3,000 people that are here, I promise you that nobody is going to go right now into the notebook and open it again.
Damn.
I was like, that's probably true. He's like, so he said, put your head down, read your notes, and go implement. And I was like,
that's a big one.
That's it.
You gotta implement.
That's it. But it's just the conversations, like, if I told myself that, like, okay. But it's a different feeling when the mentor that's making the income, having the dream life is telling you. And it's not just because they're telling you, it's a kind of just, like you said, the energy, the environment. It's the conversations they already have with individuals, where they're at in high status wise, right? And what they've already achieved. So why not learn from people that have already achieved what you want? So just hearing the right things, right? And just reading books too. Reading books. I think that's the game changer.
What book? What's one of your favorite books? Or what book were you reading?
Honestly, bro, it's the book I'm reading right now, and it's called Emotional Intelligence Habits.
Emotional intelligence tablets?
Emotional intelligence habits.
Okay. So tablets, I was like, what the?
Yeah. It tells you about, just self-development, the growth mindset, decreased stress, be in a calm space, being able to be accountable for your things that you're doing wrong, being able to tell when people are lying to you, just being able to have a lot of more EQ, and plus including it with your IQ. So just having emotional.
What's EQ, man?
EQ is like basically like your emotional intelligence.
Like emotion, IQ and EQ.
Yeah. And it's, if you can have that by also being smart, man, it's a game changer. And if you just have those, those habits, those steps that you can do to just kind of grow your emotional mindset, man, it's a game over. It's game over to business. It's game over to personal life. It's game over to everything, because you're gonna dominate. You gotta make it care. You gotta care about it though. You gotta care about how deeply you care about your business is how deeply you gotta care about your personal life. How deeply you want to be serving your wife or your kids is the same way you gotta think about your business. You gotta serve. You really do, and that mindset has to go through everything.
Damn, bro. Yeah. So what is it for you? What is it that you think most individuals are lacking? Individuals your age, because like I said, to me it's very inspiring to see the type of fire that you got going on, man.
Man, I think the one thing is just seeing how people feel about hold on. Ask the question again.
I said, what do you think individuals your age? What is it that you think that they're lacking? Because compared to how you're doing things, the energy that you have, the passion, right? Because you have passion in what you do, as well as the drive that you have on what you're doing. What do you think most individuals your age are lacking?
Well, they don't have a why. That's one of them. And two is they lack purpose on what they're doing, because they have no sense of why they're doing it. So I feel like everything resolves back to why. If you don't have a why to life and you're not chasing after anything, life is boring. Life is boring, and people, they don't operate in different frequencies because we get stuck on what we've been told by our parents, and we've been told psychologically just growing up. And I feel like people need to get more out of the norm of what they're doing and be more in the risky aspect of how we think and how we operate. And one thing that I can tell individuals is, man, if you guys know who Patrick Bet-David is, or if you guys want to be around individuals that are going to grow your mindset, play some valuetainment. I feel like every day if you play valuetainment, it would definitely grow your mindset. But one thing I feel like it's definitely been a switch and a change on why I'm doing what I do and why it's so different to everybody else is, man, that's such a hard, deep question. I'm trying to think about it because I had the answer for it, but I fucking kept yapping.
Dude, it's just tough, man. I'm telling you. I mean, for me, when I look at individuals your age in the 20s, 18s, 20s, right? Like at that age, bro, I was just fucking around, like literally just going out, playing around, drinking, partying it
Right.
up. Like literally not in the right place, right? With a ton of energy, which, like you said, I mean, like we're talking right now, having that focus of energy in the right place is what we're trying to figure out, right? But when I see individuals your age, the one thing I see them lacking is purpose,
Yeah.
right? They don't have a purpose. They don't have a, like you said, a why. Someone guiding them in the right direction. Like like imagine if you didn't have actual mentors, or actual people like up there. Like, what will you be doing?
You know, I feel like that's completely true. I feel like if I didn't have mentorship or guidance, my head would be like running with the chicken with the head off, right? So, I completely agree with you. Actually, I think that that's one of the biggest things. I think getting mentorship is huge, and then just being in the right rooms, and that includes mentorship. But man, I don't think there's anything else other than mentorship that would really change your, like, at least mindset, or maybe just habits.
And maybe be coachable too.
Coachable.
And have no big old ego.
Yeah, I think it's very, like, being egotistical nowadays too. It's because we want all the materialistic things so quick, and it's what, like, Instagram and media has posted it to be.
Instant gratification.
Right, instant gratification. It's not like that. And when people come to a realization that it's not like that, and they got to put their foot down and work, you got a different perspective to it, and you really actually want to achieve those things. You actually want to go after something instead of just wanting to just have it all handed to you, it feels like. And that mentality, man, you're never going to know what hard work or actually having, like, achieving something feels like. So even if you have all that stuff, that thing can be gone real quick because you don't know. You don't know and how to, like, you don't know how to value it, basically. Yeah. You don't know how to value what you quote unquote achieved.
Sometimes you gotta feel a little worthy of the things that we do. I mean, at least for me, if I get something pretty easy, even if I knew how to do it or get it done to get what I needed, there's no gratification in it because I didn't work for it, right?
You want to search for the next thing already. Yeah. Like, you're already on top of the next thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like as leaders and just as entrepreneurs, I feel like we've learned to just kind of think ahead of people. Right. I feel like we were stuck here with everybody's heads were at, and we're kind of just thinking of normal society. But I feel like when we kind of step into the world of entrepreneurship, you're kind of right here, and you're kind of thinking ahead for people. You're kind of thinking ahead for yourself, and you got to do that, because even if you're leading people, because, man, I'm leading an agency, right? We're leading the team, and you got to really think about it. If I'm not being able to lead from the front and thinking before them, how are they going to know where to go? Right, I gotta be that example and just be the opportunity for people to realize, like, okay, this is what we gotta do to get this done. Boom, that's an opportunity for you to go achieve it. Boom, let's go. Like that type of mindset for everybody, and you just kind of, man, it feels way better when you see your people win than yourself.
Yeah,
like it does. Like it's a different level of, like, accomplishment and winning. Right, it really does, and it puts you in a good mood to be like, man, like, I'm making money, but, man, my guys are making money, right? My guys are putting in the work. They're doing the same thing I'm doing. They're duplicating me. Now we got this big business going. Now we have this team. Now we're locked in. We're aligned, and it just gets way easier. It gets way easier, but you got to go through the hard stuff first. You got to go through the days where you got nobody beside you. You got to go through the days where nobody's answering a phone call, and you're not wanting to go do things like prospecting or talking to individuals to grow your business, because, man, there's some days like you get that way, and it's a human natural thing, and you can't be upset about it. You just kind of have to live with it and be like, okay, am I going to accept this way, or am I going to change it, right? So I just kind of have a very good understanding of my self-awareness now. You know, very, very good at self-awareness of where I'm at in my mentals, and man, it's helped me a lot. It's helped me a lot, and that's where I kind of feel like that's where I'm at today because of it. Just going through the things harder, quick.
What's the most vulnerable position you ever been or put yourself into?
Most vulnerable?
Yeah.
Being a leader.
Dang, yeah.
Being a leader.
Putting yourself in that position.
Everything. Everything's your responsibility. When you're a leader, bro, everything. It doesn't matter if you don't feel like it is. You gotta just own it. Because, man, if you can't own everything, man, how do you think you're gonna own a company?
That's pretty much it, man. It doesn't. It comes down to you.
Yeah.
Whether they win or they lose, it's.
Think about it. If
it's your making.
Yeah. And when I'm thinking about it long term too, like, if there's still deals that are 80 grand, 50 grand, 30 grand, I'm still wanting to be the face of that, because this is my business, right? So I'm gonna still be able to the guy picking up the phone no matter what. Like, I'm gonna be the guy in front of your face on the Zoom call in person no matter what, because I understand that if I'm I trust my guys, but I trust them enough to keep running business, right? But I want to be able to know that this is the brand, right? We're building our brand, right? And being able to be the face of it and always being able to be consistently working and showing that example of work regardless of how high you get, man, that just shows them you can lead people, bro. Because you're not just leveraging and leeching on people, you're kind of setting the example and then giving opportunities. So it feels good, man. It feels great, and I love what I do. I help people on a daily basis. We building wealth for individuals, and man, life's just on a different scale. Life's on a different scale, bro. So.
Good to have you here today, man.
Yes, bro.
I'm glad I got to see you at least again after so long.
So long, bro.
Over here getting hit and shit, man. You ain't coming now.
I know, bro.
This guy gave me such a hard time. He said, yeah, we gotta do this. Yeah, we gotta do this.
6 months.
6 months later, here we are. Literally, kind of at the beginning of the podcast, I wanted to get this guy in.
Yeah.
And that was literally in February. I think it was February, March. February.
Yeah. It was February? Okay.
Well, it's been 16 episodes.
3 months?
8 months.
It's 8 months? Okay.
Yeah, because I'm doing an episode per week, so about...
Damn.
Yeah, dude. It's
All
been
right.
a while.
That's good.
Dave's over here hiding from me, over here buying cars. Forget he got friends out here and shit that's supporting him.
Hey, man, you right, bro. Friends are important, man. You right, but hey,
The right friends.
Yeah, the right friends. I feel like sacrifice is worth it too, though. You gotta take sacrifice, bro.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one thing actually people in their 20s don't do enough.
They
don't sacrifice enough, and they think that having their ego is better than just taking the risk for things. And
dude, I mean, at 25, dude, like, how much do you gotta have, or how much do you have that you can't sacrifice, man? That's like, I mean, if you don't have a wife and kids, and you know, you're kind of not single, right? But you don't have big old responsibilities.
Right.
Like, how much is there to sacrifice? You know?
Not a lot, man. I guess
your hobbies,
your time,
your weekends,
your vices.
Yeah.
And when you think of it like that, people, you know, the thing is they don't think about long term and they don't have a vision. They don't paint pictures for themselves, right? So they go by their day-to-day 9 to 5 and they go home and they don't think big. So how are they gonna get big?
Yeah.
So it's honestly just the right perspective, the right mindset, and just taking risk and just, man, you just gotta be so aligned to just the opposite of what people are doing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, like you kind of have to be aligned to your own craft and your own space with the right people, though, and you'll find those people. You just got to keep on the hunt, and you got to be on the hunt for things. You have to, because if you're not, man, like I said, things get boring real quick and you get stuck, and then that's why the vices come up. That's why you want to go out and party. That's why you want to go do drugs. It's because we get bored.
Stagnant. It can't be stagnant. Anything that's stagnant goes bad.
The one thing they say, man, there's one thing the mentors say as well, is they say procrastination is the assassination of the destination.
Yes, sir. I actually have that quote right in front of me.
Yeah, bro. That quote is the biggest quote that I've read, and it hit home, bro, because that's the truth. It's the assassination of the destiny, bro. It really is. And if you want to get to the spot you want to get to quick, man, you can't be procrastinating. You got to be urgent. You got to want it now.
Hey, there was this one thing I learned from what's his name, Neil. But this guy freaking buys businesses, sells businesses. So you know, he's a very smart man. But one thing he said is, what you're thinking about doing next week, I already did it today. I'm already a week ahead of you. And that thing hit hard, and I'm like, Jesus, dude. And that's where the procrastination comes in. It's like, well, you're over here thinking whether I should do this or I should do that. I'm already doing it. So by the time you decide to do it, man, I'm already so ahead of you.
You remember Eric Worre, the guy that started basically network marketing?
Eric,
the bald guy, that GoPro, that book that Erica talks about. Well, this guy named Eric Worre, right? He talks about how just, you know how like, you know, PHP and just in financial services, you have systems to how you kind of operate, right? He talks about how you kind of have to have systems to everything, and that's how you kind of buy time back. And it's because, think about it, if I can have a system that teaches me what to do and gets all my work done in 8 hours in a week, man, let me try to chop it down and do it in 4 hours and then more, and then you get all this time back to do more stuff. And you're leveraging more, you're being a business owner more, you're having to lead more things, be responsible for more things, and it's a place of just more opportunity for yourself to keep scaling and growing. And people are afraid of it. You know, they're afraid to step in that position of taking it all. And it's the fact that they know that it's gonna make them like basically be the, like, you know, the starlight of everything, the highlight of everything. It makes people scared, but they got to know that what scares you is probably the thing that's gonna build you. Yeah, it's gonna build you.
So one thing that you're mentioning right now, it's time, right? and sitting in rooms with the billionaires and multimillionaires. I'm talking about my mentor alone is over 30 million, right? What he does. The friends that he brings over, bro, they're billionaires.
Yeah.
So these guys, we got the S&P 500, right? The people that he brings work for
The company.
global 500 companies, not just the United States, throughout the whole world.
Global.
The top 500 companies in the
Okay.
world, right? So when I'm in the room with people like that, sitting on the table like that, man, one thing they talk a lot about is how they get their time back. What are they able to do with their time?
Systems.
They literally squeeze 3 days, 4 days in one freaking day. And they're still able to work out. They're still able to do what they need to do.
Yep.
They post on social media all day.
Yep.
They market. They do what they
Yep.
gotta do. But one thing I notice is they're only able to do that because they got to buy their time back. They were able to take that big risk, that big step to do what they need to do to be able to do what they're actually doing now.
And one thing that I like about my business is like, man, you don't gotta be the biggest like badass for you to win. You really don't. Like you really, really don't. And what I mean by that is the leveraging part of business, period. Like that's the one thing that makes me excited too, because man, I can be, a DNF student, but man, if I'm good with people and I know how to get them on board and understand what we do as a concept, how we build wealth for people, how we make income, and just the importance of building a business, and I tell everybody about it, and they're good at, having degrees, they're good at accounting, they're good at all this stuff, and they know how to leverage things as well, man, we can have a team of just the biggest people in the best army. Like I don't need to have my degree, but guess what? I can have 16 degrees of other people. Mm-hmm. And guess what? They're my degrees because we're all a team.
You just reminded me of Elon
Right?
Musk.
Hey, think about it.
You think I know how to do this? Like, no, man. I just hired the guy that knew how to. So that's pretty.
Leveraging is the one thing that's gonna scale your business to the next level when you really actually dissect in how it's gonna help you. Because like if you can out strategize people, that's one way to do it. Like man, if I can't do this and I'm struggling and using all my time to like try to figure it out. Man, if I have the capital for it and I'm really trying to scale and I'm good at one thing that's building my business and keeping me as a flow and I'm making income, man, let's go leverage another person so we can keep scaling it. Let's double down. And everything is about just the scarcity mindset. You can't be scared. You can't. Because if you do, man, like you get real stagnant and then you start thinking about doing things that you need to do and you're not doing things you got to do.
How are you, what makes you a great leader? So if I was to come and be like, hey,
So like
Gabe is my he's gonna be my leader. What do I get with having you as a leader?
Expectations, example, and the how-to, right? So I'm gonna teach you how to do it. I'm gonna make sure that you keep yourself accountable to the numbers that you want, and I'm gonna process why you want to do those things, right? So we're gonna go down on why you actually want to get in business, why we want to work together, why, like all these things we need to process so then we can stay on the same page and keep scaling. So then me and you can be learning things on the same time so we can think about and strategize together, because then we're duplicating ourselves. Then we can do that to the next person, to the next person, to the next person. Then we're at a team and we got this scale of like, all right, well, look, this is the quota we got to do as a team to be able to do what we want to do. And look, I tie rewards to what we got to do to win. Right, so man, if we do this, bro, and you make $10,000 in a month, man, let's go out. I'll take you out to Mash Road. Let's go out.
Yeah, bro, you gotta take me out to. I already
There you go.
Oh, come on, man! He almost came over to my wrist. Let it go slide through.
I don't think it fit.
Maybe actually, dude. I had to put like 2 extra links on this shit because my hand is so wide.
I took 4 off.
I have a small wrist, but big old freaking hands. They're wide.
Yeah, I know, way.
But hey, it's alright.
It's all good.
Why do you wear your watch on the right hand?
Just comfortable.
It's comfortable.
I'm lefty.
Oh, so you do most of the stuff with your left?
No, do both. It's weird.
I'm ambidextrous.
Well, look, I can't throw with my right, but I can. I can't throw a baseball with my right, but I can throw with my left. But then I can shoot a basketball with my left and right. But then I can kick with my right.
Which one do you right with?
My left.
Your left?
Yeah.
So you're left dominant?
Left dominant. Well, sure.
Okay.
But I can't kick with my left for crap.
I was looking, well, I mean, it's kind of cool because when you shake hands, most of the people shake it with your right hand. I was like, that's pretty cool because then the watch is there.
Yeah, but the watch falls off. Hold on.
Transfer. No, yeah, dude. I mean, I asked because in my head, man, like, I don't like, not that I don't like, it's just hard for me to wear like any type of jewelry, watch, necklaces. 'Cause
Right.
I'm always doing something.
Yeah, it's kind of a
Yeah.
different industry for you, right?
Yeah.
And for me, I feel like more luxury, more looking sharp, professional is what's gonna make you more money. I feel like in my field, and it's not that like you have to do that, right? Man, everybody starts from nothing. You saw me walk into the first day into the office, I had nothing.
Yeah, bro, you had some clothes on your back and you wanted to upgrade it.
Yeah.
You finally upgraded. See?
I did, right?
Fine.
But the thing is, we all start from somewhere, and it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. But what I really quickly realized is, man, being around the right people, it gives you a nice, pretty good taste of what expensive
the good
feels
stuff,
like.
right?
Yeah. So then you kind of build your own salsa to it, and you're like, hey, like, here we are.
No, yeah, I feel it,
You
bro.
know, so it's a byproduct.
No, yeah.
Byproduct.
It's pretty cool to see what. I mean, for me was they told me, man, wear a suit, go look like you're about to make $1 million.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I felt it, bro. And I'm so like, I'm thinking either this year or by next year I should be hitting the $1 million one way or another, man. There's no other way. It's like whether it be $1 million in revenue, but those $1 million are gonna be the lifestyle or help for the lifestyle that my family needs. You know?
Of course, bro. I'm excited for your future spread, bro. I'm excited, man.
Every time I call this guy, man, he's like, "So how we doing?" And the first thing that comes up is the conversation about money.
Yeah, bro. Like, hey, where we at?
Yeah, where we at? No, seriously.
Where we at for the month, bro?
The thing is, talking with individuals about money, a lot of people can't do that, bro. You know what?
They're scared, yeah.
They're scared, and two, I just believe that people that are scared to talk about their finances, they're either in a really bad shape, or they're just too ashamed to talk about money to be able to get better. Like if you're not doing okay financially, like that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Right? Like we all go through the hard times. Like even me myself, not to say that I'm living check to paycheck, but I'm living in a way that hey, the money's getting what I need to get. I'm able to buy myself
whatever I want.
I could buy my steak here and there, you know.
Yeah.
As my coach says, it's an apple a day, not 7 apples on Sunday. So I like to take care of myself here and there, man.
Yeah.
But the reason why many individuals are too scared to talk about money, one, they don't have it together. Mm-hmm. Two, they don't have something to show, or three, they're just ashamed of what they're doing financially, right?
Hey, you know what's crazy? That 60% of Americans have a lack of financial literacy, even if they're stable.
Yeah, that's how you lose all the money that you make.
Yeah, I mean, bro, but think about it. If I'm in an industry that in modern times produces the most millionaires, and I'm in an industry where I can teach people about money and finance, and they have more of non-lacking financial literacy, and they have more financial literacy, and I'm teaching them about business, it's a win-win.
Yeah, that's a win, no matter what you're going to do.
If I'm going to align myself with the business in general, right, for me, it was very simple. If I can put myself in an industry that produces the most millionaires, that gives me the most likelihood to become one, why not give it an attempt?
Yeah.
So that's why I looked at financial services and PHP, like, man, they got the mentorship that's priceless, that's over millions of dollars. Like, how much did you say you've paid for mentorship?
Just this year alone, $30K.
Only $30K? Man, I think I've only spent like $3,000. And that's just going to events, right? Business trips, and that has nothing to do with just the people around me, right? These people are there, pouring into me daily, teaching me the skill sets, and that's a priceless thing. Getting mentorship from people that are making millions of dollars, making hundreds and 200,000 a month, like that's ridiculous. That's insane. And to be in that position and opportunity, and how can you deny that, right? And people just have a lack of perspective of like their vision and why they want to do what they want to do. There's no purpose, so people don't grasp it enough, and they think of it as, oh, it's just another person, another mentor. Like they don't think of it big enough. So I mean, bro, if you don't think big, you ain't gonna get big. So
that's right.
What it is.
You're limited to
your beliefs.
To your beliefs and to where your mind actually thinks you are worthy, or where you think you're. No, not where you think, where your mind believes you should be at.
And Nathan Barragan, he's one of my guys. He's 25 years old. He's making 6 figures in PHP, and dude, he's killing it. He's making his guys make, I think, over 17,000 a month. And bro, one thing he says is, I'm not gonna be able to respect myself, because look, I don't respect myself enough to make $1 million. So that's why I'm not there yet. But I can respect myself to make enough for 6 figures, but it doesn't give me to the respect I need to be for $1 million. So you gotta really respect yourself and who you are to get you to the position you want to be. And if you're not respecting, your habits, you're not like, man, if you're waking up at 10 a.m. and like that's your standard, bro, like
don't judge me.
What I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is this though, like, no, like seriously, if you're waking up at 10 a.m. and that's your standard and that's what you're doing, and you're just eating the junk food, you're not going to the gym, you're getting fat like purposely because you're not driven through anything, like, man, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot when you have everything to leverage. Like you said, mentorship is everywhere. Books, people, environments, everything. And even books, bro. I think one thing people have so like conflicted mindsets too is because we get thrown like how many books in school, right? And we're just like, oh no, like after school we're like, nah, right, no more reading. But I had a different perspective when I saw books about like personal development and just self-development. I didn't know that books were like that. I didn't know books can touch me like that. So I got tapped into some, and man, one book that kind of just changed my whole perspective was kind of just Patrick's book. The next 5 moves, and then Choose Your Enemies Wisely.
Oh, that was a good book.
Choose Your Enemies Wisely. I think those books really opened my eyes.
Well, the one book I read from Patrick Davis, it's Your Next 5 Moves. And it taught me a lot about everything that I'd done wrong up to that point. And I'm like, damn, dude, I could have, like at the time that I was reading, there were certain things that I was going through. I was like, I should have done this different.
Yep.
Like one of the things was build a contract with somebody that I was working with, and not building a contract, not only did I lose that person, but I lost the friendship. And I'm like, wow. And at that moment, I was reading to Patrick Davis, like, dude, basically saying like, hey, having a contract doesn't mean lack of trust. It just means that you're preparing yourself to save basically that friendship or that relationship that you're building, because now it's binding words, right? So like, just like you said, reading books themselves, man, it's one of those things that I myself, I didn't read for a very long time, and the books that I was reading were really just, I'm not gonna say shitty, because at the end of the day, reading does help expand your mind, as well as your literacy. But I was reading books that were not making a change in my life, right? Until I started reading. I mean, a lot of people talk about this book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and
John Maxwell.
I have not read any of John Maxwell, but he's a very, very guy, man. I actually consider him one of my mentors because I listen a lot to the stuff that he says, and then. And he's actually one of the main mentors for my mentor, John Maxwell.
Really?
Like, this guy flew him in private.
You know what's funny?
For a whole day.
My church, May 1st through the 3rd, they had him at our church.
Why didn't you get a call? Hey, Johnny, come through, bro. We got John Maxwell coming.
I try to tell people, and then people just kind of they sounded like they weren't really interested, so I stopped inviting people, and I just was like, I'm gonna go. And guess what? I got caught up in business, and I couldn't go.
That's business, man. It happens.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's cool. Things happen, and you kind of just gotta pivot and adjust, and that's what makes us good, right? Pivot and adjust,
Yes, sir. Hey, all I can say, man, it's an honor having a young individual here, talking about business, talking about money, talking about what it is that it takes to actually get to a better, bigger level in life. I don't just mean materialistic, but physically, mentally, spiritually, it takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
Okay, there's no easy route. There's really no way in this world that you're gonna just be a celebrity overnight or a freaking home run overnight. Like I said, special occasions, right? Mm-hmm. But for most occasions, is you gotta work pretty hard. Nowadays, you gotta work pretty smart. And with all the technology that we got going on, man, I don't see how people are not making it, honestly.
Yeah.
Or at least making a change. For all the individuals that are out there, your age in their 20s, 18, 20s, right, that can actually start doing something. Because like I said, man, the one thing I like about you is that you have that freaking drive, right? And I see what I could have done myself if when I was your age with the energy that I have, because it will match yours, right? But what can you tell people your age, individuals your age, that they can be doing different to be able to start getting better, not only for themselves, but for their family or for whoever it is that they need to take care of?
Right. So one thing I would say is, like, line yourself with things that are actually going to give you value, right? So if you're not getting relationships in your life that are bringing you value, or you're not bringing value to them, cut them out immediately. Mm-hmm. And then two, just get yourself in the right environments. For me, it was a company that gave me morals, values, and principles, taught me the right things I needed to do to actually scale myself, like, as an individual. So I feel like getting aligned with people that are actually going to grow you, and you actually process those things and think that, man, these people can actually set me up for life, you can actually get yourself a lot quicker in the place that you want to be when you just do that. Align yourself with mentors. And man, I think the third thing is just reading books, bro. Reading books is the one thing that opened my mind. It made me be a visionary. It made me expand where I wanted to go in my path of living, and it made me actually believe. It made me believe like I can get this done. Like I can set my standards up to at least when I'm 30 years old, at least 15 mil, minimum. If I'm not at $13 million by 30 years old, there's a problem in my system that I need to fix. So
15 million by 30?
Minimum.
It's recorded, bro.
That's keep my
I'm
word.
gonna send this every year. It's like, how close are we to the 15? Every year I'm gonna send you a link. Hey, bro, how close are we to the 15?
Yeah, bro. If you really think about it, if you scale, even Warren Buffett, when he was like 21 years old, I think he was at 140 net, and then he went from 120 to like 10 years later when he was like 31 to like 56 mil. So it's very possible. And imagine doing that in today's world now with technology, AI.
Everything much faster.
There's no reason why you're not making $1 million. No reason. There's no reason why you can't be making $1 million in today's society in 2024 with everything we have, technology, the opportunities, the people around us, the environments we can put ourselves in, all of that. And it all starts from just making a decision and just not playing the game of life lukewarm. I feel like people that have won big have never done it, just playing average, right? So you gotta go all in or it's not gonna get to you. And if you're gonna go all in, make a decision. And don't leverage people if you're gonna waste their time, because you gotta really tell yourself and have a conversation and see if you're really all in, because if you're not, just get out. Just stay out, bro. Just make sure that you keep yourself aligned with the right things though, right? So I'm not saying not do business, I'm just saying it isn't for everybody, and it is for people that actually want to be devoted to their craft, are disciplined, and all that's built through going through the trials and tribulations. So just stay focused, stay motivated, and man, life gets easier.
Hey man, you know how much you gotta make a day to make $1 million at the end of the year?
How much?
I think it's like 20, almost 2,800 a day.
Is it 2,800? I thought it was less, like 1,300.
Nah, 2,800.
All we need.
Sure.
All we
You got
need.
your phone on you? Yeah, pull it out, do it.
All right.
Do $1 million divided by, and that's working 365.
Yeah, 365 days, so $1 million divided by 365. It's 2,700. 2,739.
$2,800 will get you over
So
a day.
a week, I would need to do at least like.
Divide that 52.
So 52.
Okay, we're talking about do divided by 365. That's in a day, right?
Yeah.
So if you divide the $1 million by a week, by 52 weeks.
So divided by 52.
Or I mean, you could do that times 7. But yeah.
52.
That makes no sense.
I don't know, but
Yeah,
all I need, bro, the strategy and the system for me is all I need 4 people writing business a week. That's 6 figures.
That's $19,230 a week. You gotta have $20,000 weeks.
Yeah, so that means that everybody has to write at least 5,000 a week. It's full. So I do it, and then I train my guys to do it. That's it.
There you go.
Yeah, it's simple.
Dude, I maxed myself out. That's why I started building a team.
The reason why also to get in the financial service industry or just the business in general is to find a business, I feel like, that can pay you residual income. I feel like that's one thing that even like yourself as a business owner, we lack to try to find industries that do that, or try to find strategies that can pay us that way, right? So even in your business, there's probably definitely a way to get residual income. Training, building a big team, and leveraging how to duplicate it, right? That can be a platform for you to make residual income off.
I was about to share one of the secrets that I'm doing with my business, but I'll tell you after.
Okay.
But it kind of links up to what you said either way.
But yeah.
But yeah, man, I once asked a person or an individual. I was like, "Hey, bro, how hard would it be for you? Or how easy would it be for you to get $10,000?"
Mm-hmm.
Dude, not every single excuse, but every excuse that I could think of came out right after that. And I'm like, damn, bro, I really need to start hanging out with bigger minds. Because at this point, I was like, bro, I literally just hit 10K in 2 days. I'm like, and I wish I was every freaking 2 days. Right?
Every 2 days, right?
But it's all right, man. I'm averaging about $1,500 per customer for the year. So, I mean, it went from about 800 to 1,200 to 1,500, 1,800.
It's not bad.
So
man.
it's it's moving up. Closing rate is moving up. So
good.
little by little, man, we're getting better. Right, so now that I max myself out in what I know in my craft, now it's time for me to actually build someone. I have Carlos Avila, which I interviewed as well on systems and processes. So now I'm building my own playbook for my business.
There you go. That's
right?
awesome, bro.
So
That's awesome.
when I went to PHP, bro, like
There.
everything is there. Like I literally went in with a mind of I'm here to learn,
Like
and
Jonathan,
not only the PHP way, but how to apply that in my business.
Exactly. And would you agree that joining PHP, if you started out with no business experience, you would succeed?
Oh yeah, dude. You got freaking people walking you, like literally.
They hold your hand, right?
No, literally, man. So and then like you said, the main thing is accountability. There's a lot of accountability there. So I think one reason why a lot of people wouldn't like it is just the accountability, not being able to be coachable, and then just having a big ego thinking they know it all, right?
Yeah.
But like walking in there,
But that
having
goes you
an
in
open
any
mind.
business, right?
Yeah. But like if walking in there, man, and you have an open mind, dude, I think that's one of the main things. Being hungry and being coachable. Because if you're coachable, people are gonna show you how to get
quicker.
Yeah, get to where you need to be much quicker, much faster. You're talking about years of experience and
like this.
Yeah, like you say, you went to train the trainers 6 months in 3 days.
It's insane.
Like you know what I mean? Like
insane.
like events like that where you're getting trained all this months in less than a week, and you're hungry like the way the hunger that you have towards being successful. You retain all this stuff.
Yeah.
Once you retain it, then we come back down to that 10% that we're talking. You come into the applications part of the learning. So you learn all this, you apply it, and then you start seeing results. One thing is, of course, and I'm not the one that came up with this, but it's being aggressively patient.
Yeah.
So aggressively tackling all the tasks, aggressively going after what you want, aggressively applying everything that you're learning, but being patient enough to understand that it's going to take a little bit of time for it to come if it doesn't come overnight.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's great value, bro. I love that. I feel like people are really just not patient for their goals, and everything's a strategy to it. There's a system to everything, and if you build systems through everything, bro, you're unstoppable. Like if you build a system to wake up the perfect way every day, you build a system to feel good every day. No wonder why people are happy every day. You know, people don't just wake up feeling happy. Everybody fills up and wakes up the same way. Everybody wakes up the same way. It's just the systems people have in place for their lives to make sure that they stay happy every day.
You know how earlier you asked me how do I go about starting my day?
Yeah.
Let me tell you. So every morning, except on the weekends I take them kind of in the mornings to
Kinda do your
reflect,
thing, right?
to reflect onto my actual week. But every day I wake up with 4 questions in my mind. What are my intentions for today? What are my commitments for today? Who do I get to be today? And last but not least, what am I grateful for today? There's more to what I do, right? But that's are like the main 4 things. What that helps me set my day for an even better day, an even better week. Right?
That's awesome.
So it's not perfect every week, man. But writing literally every single day since February, I've been writing this stuff down. Being able to transfer that written stuff and actually having it subconsciously. Like reminding me, it's like, oh, dude, I said today I was gonna do this. This was my commitment. Like, what am I doing? Why haven't I made it happen?
One thing that people don't do at a young age too is they don't keep their word. That's the one thing I noticed in people that I got driven inside me when I joined PHP, and it was the standard of actually holding your word and being accountable to it. Because man, just like good credit, your word is like credit. You got to be able to be trusted. You got to be able to be reliable. You got to be able to have good credibility in everything you do. And when it comes to your word, if I'm asking you to do a task and you don't get it done, man, my trust for you is a little bit lower. But I still work with people. We're still in the people business regardless. It doesn't matter if they don't get it done or not. It's the fact of building people up, building them to the right person they want to be, so they can do it on their own. And I feel like people just lack keeping the word. They don't have the drive enough to understand that they can hold themselves to a high standard to actually get them there. Because I feel like me holding myself there makes me be like, all right, bro, like I need to kick my own ass to get there. Like I need to make sure it happens. Yeah, it's the self-accountability, bro. And that's what helps. I feel like if I didn't have that or thought about it like subconsciously, I would just kick back, bro. That's what normal 20-year-olds do. They just kick back because they don't have that subconscious thinking of, I need to get it done right now.
The urgency.
Mindset. Yeah, the urgency.
That's another word that I actually write down every morning. Acceleration.
Acceleration.
Acceleration. Gotta get my ass moving.
Quick. That's fire, bro. So much value.
Let
Love that.
me ask you this last question. You know what a guerrero is? Do you?
Yeah, what did you get out of it?
No, do you know what a guerrero is?
No, I don't.
Warrior?
Oh, you said, I thought you said, what did you get out of this? You said
no.
guerrero.
Yeah.
What does guerrero mean? Warrior?
What does being a guerrero mean to you? Because you're in Guerrero's podcast, bro.
Honestly, bro, guerrero, like champion. Like champion. Like guerreros. Like, I don't know. To me, like, what I've known Guerrero for is because I grew up in Gilroy and we have a boxer named Guerrero and he fought, I think, Mayweather, and he's called the Ghost. So when I think Guerrero, I always think of Ghost too, but...
you're a ghost? No, but being a warrior for you, what is being a warrior?
Man, just being relentless. Being able to do things regardless of any odds. Being able to go into any battle, regardless of who it is or what you're, fighting against. Just being able to be the conflicting battle of like what people want you to operate on, right? And just being able to be the warrior, just being able to be the example, a different thing than everybody else, right? The warrior is somebody that's gonna do things that nobody else wants to do. It's somebody that's gonna be resilient. Like resilience is the big word out of being a warrior. I think that word right there is the whole definition of a warrior. Resilience.
I love it.
Yeah, bro. That's fire.
You bring out the A game, bro. I appreciate you for being here.
Of course, Papa.
Again, this is my boy Gabe. Where can they find you, bro? What social medias do you have?
Yeah, bro. If you guys want to find me, I'm on social media on Instagram. It's Donelly.official, DONNELLY. If you want to spell my last name correctly. So there we go, baby. Let's go.
Let's get it. And once again, I appreciate every one of you who's watching. Hit that like button, share. You guys already know, bringing you all this value. All you gotta bring out is not a wallet, but a notebook, and start applying, man. And start applying.
Baby, let's go.
So thanks again for watching, Guerreros. Let's go. Beautiful.